we'll just continue. Since it's a short time today, we'll continue. Okay. So I will read the translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. There was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath in seeing who would lead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car. So everyone can please repeat. There was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath in seeing who would lead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car. Purport. In his Anubhasya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as follows. After giving up the company of the gopis in Vrindavan, Sri Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, engaged in his pastimes at Dwarka. When Krishna went to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister and others from Dwarka, he again met the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Bhavaduti Suvalita. That is, Krishna himself assuming the part of Srimati Radharani in order to understand Krishna. Lord Jagannath Dev is Krishna, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Srimati Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's leading Lord Jagannath toward the Gundicha temple corresponded to Srimati Radharani's leading Krishna toward Vrindavan. Sri Kshetra Jagannath Puri was taken as the kingdom of Dwarka, the place where Krishna enjoys supreme opulence. But he was being led by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan, the simple village where all the inhabitants are filled with ecstatic love for Krishna. Sri Kshetra is a place of Aishwarya Leela, just as Vrindavan is the place of Madhurya Leela. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is following at the rear of the Rath indicated that Lord Jagannath, Krishna, was forgetting the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Although Krishna neglected the inhabitants of Vrindavan, he could not forget them. Thus, in his opulent Ratha Yatra, he was returning to Vrindavan. In the role of Srimati Radharani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was examining whether the Lord still remembered the inhabitants of Vrindavan. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell behind the Rath car, Jagannatha Deva, Krishna himself, understood the mind of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Jagannath sometimes fell behind the dancing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to indicate to Srimati Radharani that he had not forgotten. Thus, Lord Jagannath would stop his forward march of the Rath and wait at a standstill. In this way, Lord Jagannath agreed that without the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, he could not feel satisfied. While Jagannath was thus waiting, Gaurasundar Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, immediately came forward to Krishna. At such times, Lord Jagannath would proceed ahead very slowly. These competitive exchanges were all part of the love affair between Krishna and Srimati Radharani. In that competition between the Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy for Jagannath and Jagannath's ecstasy for Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emerged successful. Om Jnanatimirandasya Ganam Jana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tadati Swaparantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitya Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Hari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is the real meaning of the Rath Yatra. Before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the only person who understood this was Sri Madhavendra Puri. Before that, nobody really understood the full essence of what is Rath Yatra. King Idradyumna, he understood that Jagannath is the second manifestation of Nila Madhava, and he worshipped him in that way. Even when Jagannath was, from his point of view, was not finished. Short arms, no legs, big head. So he thought, oh no, he was disturbed. But a voice from the sky, so the voice is always coming, in time of need, said no, that this is complete, you should worship. The Lord is actually speaking through the sky. You should worship me as I am. This is how I want to appear. But he didn't understand fully. He understood that here is Krishna. But previous to that, he understood Krishna as having 4 arms. Now he has 2 short arms, and no legs. So he worshipped in the same way. And that worship was continued and still continues. Of course, there's some modification by Lord Chaitanya's influence. But still the worship is very opulent. But as it says here, Lord Jagannath is actually Krishna. And he's Krishna remembering Vrindavan. He's not just Krishna. He's not Krishna in Dwarka. He is Krishna in Dwarka, but remembering Vrindavan. After Krishna and the Yadus came to Kurukshetra, and they went back. After that, because Krishna had seen the residents of Vrindavan, he started remembering Vrindavan. Of course, he never forgot Vrindavan. But this takes place later on in this chapter when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the role of Radharani, is chastising Krishna. That, why have you done this? Why have you done this? And Lord Chaitanya is remembering this. Just a few verses before this, Swarup Damodar recites a verse, that Pete Parananata Painu. This is this mood of Srimati Radharani. She's saying, now I have attained Krishna, now I have attained my beloved, because Jaha Lagi Madana Dehinu Jhuri Genu. Because previous to this, my heart was burning and drying up due to lack of association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of Krishna. But of course, she didn't see him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now she was seeing him as the King of Dwarka. And she could not, she just couldn't understand this. And therefore, there's a poem that is recited from Chandidas. That's actually the poem is actually a mundane poem. Not talking about Krishna. can't remember. So that in that poem, which later on Rupa Goswami Golokaized it, he put it in terms of Goloka Vrindavan, of Krishna's pastime. So Srimati Radharani was experiencing prema vaichitya, which means the highest form of prema. Actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that the highest ecstasy is not found in Vrindavan. It is found in Kurukshetra. Because Radharani is right there with Krishna, but she's feeling intense separation. So this is prema vaichitya. You're with your lover, but you feel like he's not there. Because Krishna, with peacock feather and turban, he wasn't there. And so he was there in another form. Actually, it wasn't Vrindavan Krishna, it was Vasudeva Krishna. Krishna in Dwarka is Vasudeva Krishna. He is not Vrindavan Krishna. Vrindavan Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. When Krishna mounted on the chariot, then actually Vrindavan Krishna entered into the hearts of the residents of Vrindavan. Because otherwise they would not have been able to live another moment. And so this meeting, that's why actually Jagannath Puri is considered to be the sum of all rasas. Because you have Dwarka rasa, you have Vrindavan rasa, everything is there in one place. Whereas in Vrindavan, they don't even like to hear the residents of Vrindavan, Hari Harai Nama Krishna Yadava. No, we don't want to hear about the Yadavas. They took Krishna away. So this is a song for outside Vrindavan, not inside Vrindavan. Otherwise, you just sentiments of the residents of Vrindavan. We chant it in our temple. We do so many things. But the mood of Vrindavan is that we want Krishna to stay here. And so after Krishna, in this moment, this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is enacting. He's actually, after Swarup Damodar recited that verse, Seta Parananata Painu. After he recited that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to dance in ecstasy. That's when he was dancing so ecstatically that he was going around so fast that it looked like a circle. You couldn't even tell who it was. We go around. I see some devotees, they go fairly fast, but you can still see who it is. But in this case, you couldn't even see who it was. He was going so fast. Tears shooting out of his eyes and bathing everyone. Everyone. There were 3 circles. And in the first circle, everyone was wet with the tears from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore, they were in ecstasy. And in the second circle were devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And the third circle were more official people. So Srivas, he was in the second circle. And Prataparudra was right behind him. So Prataparudra had his hands on the shoulders of Harichandan. And he was trying to see, but Srivas was in ecstasy, seeing the dancing of Lord Chaitanya. Not only was he going in circles, but he would jump from here and there, and he would jump so high that when he jumped up, the earth would go down. And when he landed, it was like an earthquake. If we had some historical records, there would probably be records of phenomenal earthquakes at that time, all over the globe, because from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing. Nanda would try to catch him, but he would jump here. Sometimes he would fall, sometimes he would catch him. So Srivas was in ecstasy, and Harichandan couldn't see, and he said, he's the king. We have to honor the king. Just like here we have etiquette, like senior devotees, and this one, who's the most senior? You can find out, just see where the ghee lamp goes, then you can figure who's who. And so, but this is varnashram. This is external. It's important. It's important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself accepted the sannyas order. And to illustrate, that he took sannyas, one of the reasons, he had many reasons, but one of the reasons he took sannyas was so that the students and the atheists and the pashandis would respect him, because they were chastising him. Even after he fell into the ecstasy of the gopis, and one student began to criticize him, he chased after the student with a stick, and that student ran over to the other students and said, "This is going too far. We have to do something." They were ready to rebel against Nimai Pandit. And so he said, "I better take sannyas. Then at least they will respect me for being sannyas." Because otherwise they were committing offenses against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he accepted sannyas because this is necessary. We have these different positions, and therefore people react. Srila Prabhupada said in one conversation with Dr. Patel in Juhu, he said that the Vedas everything is there in the Vedas, even killing animals and eating meat. Dr. Patel objected. No, Vaishnavas don't eat. Yes, Vaishnavas don't do that, but other people will do that. And if they learn to do it in the name of the Vedas, then they accept the authority of the Vedas to some degree. And then in this life or the next life, they'll accept a little more. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his talks with Ramananda Roy, he wasn't talking about society. He was talking about how a Vaishnava sees everyone from his heart. We don't see this person as sannyasi, Therefore, Naham Vipro Nacha Narapatir, that Napi Vaishno Nashudro. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am not any of these things. No, I'm not a Brahmin, I'm not a Kshatriya, Vaishya Shudra, no. Naham Varni Nacha Grihapatir Na Vanashto Yatir Va. I'm not in any of the varnas, I'm not in any of the ashrams. No. But Kintu Prodhyan Nikila Paramananda Punamritabdhir Gopi Bhartur Parakamalayor Dasa Dasa Anudasa. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was showing, before Lord Jagannath, there's no designation. Sarvapada Vinir Muktam, not Paratvayan and Nirmala. Our duty in life is to get rid of these designations. Even in the spiritual life, even in our Krishna consciousness movement, we have designations. This person's this, temple president, GBC, all these things, just more upadhis. These are upadhis that organize society. Otherwise, everything will be chaos. Otherwise, everyone will be in false raganuga. So these things are there. But this is not the essence. Before Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, he recited 4 prayers. That was the last prayer. In the first prayer, he Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanehitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu establishes the importance of the Brahmins, and even before the Brahmins, the cows. We offer our obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's addressing Krishna as the Lord of Vrindavan. Then he goes into a more formal, Jayatu Jayatu Devo Devaki Nandano Sao. That he says, my dear Lord, the son of Devaki, Jayatu, Jayatu, Krishna, Vrishni Vamsa Pradipa. He who is illuminating the whole dynasty of the, otherwise he has established the special position of the Vrishni dynasty. And he is giving them transcendental bliss. Jayatu, Jayatu, Mega Shamala Komalango. And that he is He has a beautiful blackish color, and he is soft as the lotus flower. Jayatu, Jayatu, Prithvi Bharanasho Makunda. He is liberating the world from the burden that has been given by these Kshatriya kings. Then he becomes more intimate. He prays, Jayati, Janani Vaso, Devaki Janma. Wow. That now he says Devaki, but he actually means Yashoda. No. Oh Lord, the Lord who is pervading all the universe and who is giving the universe his understanding of Goloka Vrindavan. That you are the son of Devaki and Yashoda Mai and Jaduvara Parishad. You are the essence, the greatest person of all the Yadus. Swayar Dor Bir, Asyan Dharmam. And with your own hands you are killing the demons, or devotees like Arjuna or the Pandavas. You are killing all the unnecessary elements. And you are so merciful that Stitachara Vichanagna, that you give mercy to all the living entities. How? Susmita Shimukena, by the beautiful smile on your lotus face. And we see that in the form of Lord Jagannath. His smile is blessing everyone. Krishna's smile is the source of happiness for all the living entities. That's where happiness comes from. Krishna's smile. The gopis are begging just to see Krishna's smile. Bilvamangala Thakur, he said that your transcendental body is Madhura Madhuram, very sweet. And your face, Madhuram Madhuram Madhuram. No. But your smile, Madhuram 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 Madhuram, is so sweet because it is the source of all happiness. So therefore Lord Jagannath is showing his, of course, the internal reason of his smile is he's hearing about his pastimes in Braja. He's remembering Braja. And therefore his smile, and Lord Balaram and Subhadra, they're also hearing about Vrindavan. Sometimes we hear about Vrindavan and we fall asleep. No, because we're interested in something else. But when they hear about Vrindavan, that's what should happen. We can consider that I'm having success in my spiritual life when I hear about Vrindavan. My eyes go like this, my smile goes like this. Then we can know I'm making some advancement. And so, this is the Rath Yatra. In the Rath Yatra, as it says here, there's a competition. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya is in front of the cart, but then he thinks, what is Jagannath doing? Is he remembering us? He's already left, Krishna has already left Vrindavan, so he goes behind the cart. No. And the cart stops. And this shows, just like Srila Prabhupada said, who can understand Srimati Radharani? He said, everyone is looking for Krishna, and Krishna is looking for Radha. How great is she? So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing the glories of Srimati Radharani. He goes behind the cart stops. Jagannath cannot be happy without the presence of Srimati Radharani. And therefore, then he puts his head on the cart and he pushes it. Later on, the cart has stopped because he's resting. And then they tried to get the cart going again. They got hundreds of elephants, the strongest men, thousands of men, hundreds of elephants. Cart would not move. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply touched it, took off. And so, Rath Yatra means that this competition is going on, is going back to Vrindavan. And one very special thing we can remember when we're in the Rath Yatra, two things I always emphasize. One, that don't talk to anybody. Sometimes devotees are walking along, Haribol Prabhu, haven't seen you for a long time. And so, we should be absorbed in dancing and chanting for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath. Baladev, Subhadra Devi. Not that you can catch up on social issues afterwards, but total absorption. And the second thing is, when we're pulling the ropes, what does this mean? It means that this is why Srila Prabhupada established this ISKCON movement, because only by the combined effort of all the devotees can we actually please Krishna. Just like if one devotee tries to pull the cart, it would be very difficult. Right? Any of you ever tried? No. But if we're all together pulling, then it's very easy. Sometimes it starts going too fast. We're pulling so much. Devotees are anxious for Krishna to come back to Vrindavan. And so, later on in this chapter, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu begins to address Jagannath, and he says, Anyara Hridaya Mana, Mora Mana Vrindhavana. He says, most people, except for us, the gopis, most people, their heart and their mind are the same. And the heart is dictated to by the mind. Otherwise, whatever my mind is attracted to, therefore, Krishna says, Jayato Vishayan Pumsam, be very careful what you meditate on. Because whatever you meditate on, that will determine the condition of your heart. If you meditate on Krishna's lotus feet, if you meditate on the deities, if you meditate on devotional service, then your heart will go there. But if you meditate on money and position, let me be the first one to get the ghee lamp, then my life will be successful. And so, if we meditate like that, then we won't, our heart will be in the wrong place. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nadana, Nachana, Sundari, Kavitava. We don't want these four things, the first three especially. No fruitive activities, no special attraction to the opposite sex. If there's attraction, it should be done in the service of Krishna. And no wealth. But Yudhishthira Maharaj had so much wealth. Parikshit Maharaj had so much wealth. Arjuna and the Pandavas, they had to go get wealth because it was all taken away by Duryodhana. But then they had so much wealth. And what did Kunti Devi say? No, she said, when we had nothing, you were always with us. And now that we have a kingdom, you're going away. So what's the use of this kingdom? No. When Parikshit Maharaj got cursed, he said, finally, no more horses, no more chariots, no more kingdom, no more treasury. Now I can simply be absorbed in Krishna. No. So this is what it means. You may have so many things, but it's all used for Krishna. As we heard Srila Prabhupada saying yesterday, when we understand that everything belongs to Krishna, then our life becomes successful. So then she says that mani jani eka ribhani, that my heart is situated in Vrindavan. It cannot go anywhere else. It cannot be here. My heart's still there. So they start arguing. All kinds of arguments are going on. She's saying, I can understand you ignoring me because you did that all the time in Vrindavan. But what about Nanda Maharaj? What about Yashoda Mai? You don't remember them? You want to kill them? No. Very heavy. No. You want to kill your mother and father? Just stay away from Vrindavan. And then Lord Jagannath responds. He says, my dear Radharani, I have never forgotten you. Haven't you realized that every day I go to Vrindavan, I prayed to my deity. Krishna is acting like he's giving the example. And the deity of Narayan, he gave me a special boon. Every day I can go to Vrindavan and I go into your heart. Unfortunately, I can't, only you. I'm working on it. I'm praying still that I can go into everybody's heart. Because he does go, he's already there, but he wanted to make her feel special. They said, I go into your heart every day, and I'm just waiting to go back to Vrindavan, but there's 2 or 4 more demons that I have to kill, and then I'll be right back. No. And Krishna began to feel this way. So much so that there was a big, just like sometimes devotees have an argument. No? You see that? Seen that happen? No? So everybody was having an argument. Those who wanted Krishna to go to Vrindavan against those who wanted him to stay in Dwarka, because they knew if he goes to Vrindavan, he won't come back. No, that was their fear. And the other ones thought if he doesn't go to Vrindavan, everyone will die. So this is just like Srila Prabhupada, when he was getting ready to leave, he wanted to go to Govardhan. So some devotees said, yeah, that's what Prabhupada wants, we do it. No, it will be bad for Prabhupada. He's just testing us to see if we want to take care of it. So they were arguing, fighting, But fighting in service, it's okay. As long as you don't, not physical, but as long as you realize that the other devotee has just as much right to think as they want to think as I do. Because each devotee is defending their service, their understanding of Krishna. And of course, Prabhupada said, then you sit down and chant Hare Krishna together, and everything is resolved. If there's ever an argument, Prabhupada says, sit down together and chant the holy name. So then finally, Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was satisfied. And after that, then the Rath Yatra proceeded, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in ecstasy, so much so that he jumped so high that he fell down unconscious. Nityananda would usually catch him, but Nityananda was in ecstasy seeing his dancing, and then he couldn't get there in time. So Prataparudra picked him up, put him on his lap, and he thought, this is it, this is my moment. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu woke up and he said, oh no, I was meditating on Krishna, now I'm seeing a king. And Prataparudra thought, oh no, I will never get the chance. But Sarvabhautacharya said, no, just take a humble position. So he understood that. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was resting, Prataparudra dressed as a Vaishnava. No, not as a king. And he came, he massaged Lord Chaitanya's legs, and then he recited Gopi Gita, and Lord Chaitanya, he said, I don't have anything to give you, for you've given me the most valuable thing. I can only embrace you. But there was nothing more valuable for Prataparudra. So he taught us, and I'll conclude with this, he taught us that you must dress as a Vaishnava. I'm not talking about this dress. We dress our consciousness with Trinadapi Sunichena Torori Vasahishnuna Amanina Manidina Kirtanida Sadahari. We dress our consciousness with these 4 cardinal rules for being Krishna conscious. And then with our consciousness like that, we can approach the lotus feet of Krishna, we can serve Krishna, and we can go to the Rath Yatra today with the proper mood of devotional service, of pleasing Lord Jagannath by dancing and chanting and offering our hearts to him and pulling him back to Vrindavan. And then he'll give us the ecstasy of Vrindavan. So these are some points on this particular verse. There's no time today for questions because we have Rath Yatra and everybody has to get ready. So thank you all very much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki, Shri Rath Yatra ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai.